Hello my dear students, welcome you all to the botany classes. Till the previous classes we have discussed about the root, stem, leaves and the types of inflorescence. In today's class we shall discuss about the important part of the plant, that is the flower. All of us know that flower is the reproductive part of the plant. As we see root, stem and leaf, they are the vegetative parts, means they are not involved in reproduction, but flower is the one which is involved in sexual reproduction, attracting the insects for pollination. So, flower is called the reproductive part of the plant and attractive part of the plant, right. Without wasting time, we shall look into the details of the flower. So, flower is defined as a highly modified shoot meant for sexual reproduction in plants. It is a modified shoot which is meant for sexual reproduction in plant, right. And the flower has three main parts. One is pedicel, which is called stack of the flower, thalamus, which is the base of the flower, and the fertile whorls, means parts of the flower. Parts of the flowers means four different parts performing four different functions or various functions. We can see a brief structure of the flower here. We can see the stack, you can see thalamus, you can see other four whorls like calyx containing sepals, you can see corolla containing petals, you can see andrecium containing anther and filament, you can see gynoecium containing stigma, style and ovary. All of you are familiar with the structure of flower. So, let us not waste much time in studying, looking at the diagram of the flower, right. Without wasting time, we shall see the four whorls of the flower. Okay. Before that, we shall see what is pedicel, what is thalamus. So, pedicel is the stack of the flower. Pedicel is stack of the flower, and flowers with pedicel are called pedicellate. Flowers without pedicel, they are called sessile. Means if the flower contain pedicel, if the flower contains stack, the flower is called pedicellate flower. If the flower do not contain pedicel, it is called a sessile flower, right. And thalamus, also called receptacle or torus or base of the flower. So, terminal end of the pedicel is swollen or expanded to form the floral axis, means the tip of the pedicel is swollen, is bulged to hold the flower, and it contains 4 nodes and 3 internodes, 4 nodes and 3 internodes. From each node a whorl of modified leaves produced, We shall see what are those whorls. When we say floral whorls, there are two types, non-essential whorls and essential whorls. Non-essential means the whorls, the parts which are not involved in reproduction. The whorls which are not involved in reproduction are called non-essential whorls or accessory or additional whorls. We have a calyx containing sepal, corolla containing petal, and coming to essential whorls or required whorls or important whorls, that is the parts of the flower which are involved in sexual reproduction, parts of the flower which are involved in reproduction. One is andrecium, that is male whorl having male parts of the flower. Other one is a gynoecium containing female parts of the flower. So, here andrecium and gynoecium are the important ones which are involved in reproduction. Andrecium being a male whorl having male parts of the flower, gynoecium female whorl having female parts of the flower, right. We shall see more details. Here there are various categories, various classification systems of the flower, means based on the characters, morphological characters, we can classify flowers in various ways. Okay. First type of classification, a flower normally arises in the axil of a small leaf like structure called as the bract. Hope you remember the stipule, two small leaf like structures arising at the base of the leaf which are called stipule, and the two small leaf like structures which are present at the base of the flower are called bract, right. Here if the flower contains bract, it is called bracteate. If the flower do not contain bract, it is called ebracteate. Here the flower is said to be complete, its next classification, flower may be complete, flower may be incomplete. A flower is said to be complete when all the four whorls are present, means if the flower contains calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, then the flower is called complete. If any one of them is absent, the flower is called incomplete. Calyx, corolla, androecium, only 3 are there, incomplete. Calyx, corolla, gynoecium, only 3 are there, incomplete. Like that, if all four whorls are present, the flower is said to be complete. If any one of them is absent, it is said to be incomplete. Another way of classification, flower may be bisexual or unisexual. Flower is said to be bisexual or hermaphrodite when both essential whorls which androecium, gynoecium are present. Means when both male sex organs, female sex organs, when both are present, flower is called bisexual, right. If only one of them is present, it is called unisexual, means if the flower is containing only male or only female, it is called a unisexual flower, unisexual flower. So here the flower is having a calyx, corolla, androecium or calyx, corolla, gynoecium, means a unisexual flower may be female or pistillate, a unisexual flower may be male or staminate when only androecium is present. Calyx, corolla, androecium, then the flower is called staminate or male. Or unisexual flower may be female or pistillate when only gynoecium is present. When only gynoecium is present, right. So calyx, corolla, androecium, male flower, calyx, corolla, gynoecium, female flower. But when both are absent, it is called a neuter flower. It is called a neuter flower. Flower is said to be neuter when both essential whorls are absent. So we got idea, when androecium, gynoecium both are present, it is bisexual. When androecium, gynoecium only one is present, unisexual. When androecium is present, it is called staminate. When gynoecium is present, it is called pistillate. When both are absent, it is called neuter, right. There is another way of classification of the flower. So based on the symmetry, hope you discussed that in animal kingdom in PUC. So the symmetry, the flower can be classified into 3 types: actinomorphic, zygomorphic and asymmetric. Okay, first one, actinomorphic. Flower is said to be regular or actinomorphic when it can be divided into 2 equal halves along any of the radii passing through the center. Means we can divide the flower into 2 equal parts in any plane passing through the center. It is called a actinomorphic. Zygomorphic, a flower is said to be zygomorphic when it can be divided into 2 equal halves only along one radius, only along the center, only at one angle. It is called a zygomorphic. Then it is called asymmetrical when it can be divided into, it cannot be divided into 2 equal halves from any plane. Means the flower has no particular shape. When the flower has no particular shape, then it is difficult for us to divide equally, to divide into 2 equal parts. In such case, flower is called asymmetrical flower. Okay. So, actinomorphic, zygomorphic and asymmetrical. You can see clearly in the diagram, right. There is one more type of classification of the flower, isomerous and heteromerous. Means we have seen the floral whorls, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. If all the 4 are in the same number, means their number is same, then it is called isomerous. A flower which have the same number of floral leaves, floral whorls in each of its whorl, it is called isomerous. Heteromerous, flowers which have the different number of floral whorls leaves in each of its whorl, it is called heteromerous. For example, in case of isomerous, dimerous, floral leaves are 2 or in its multiples of it, means 2 in sepal, 2 sepals, 2 petals, 2 stamens and 2 pistils, it is called dimerous. Trimerous, 3 sepals, 3 petals, 3 stamens and 3 pistils. Tetramerous, 4 sepals, 4 petals, 4 stamens and 4 pistils. Pentamerous, 5 sepal, 5 petal, 5 stamen and 5 pistils or carpels. Like that, if all the 4 whorls are same in number, it is called a isomerous flower. If the flower has 5 sepal, 6 petal, 3 stamen, 4 carpels, like that, if they are different in number, it is called a heteromerous. Okay. This is based on the number of floral whorls, types of flowers based on floral whorls, right. And lastly, the flowers can be classified into 3 types based on insertion of the floral leaves or floral whorls, right. First one is hypogynous, second one is perigynous, third one is epigynous. First one, hypogynous, it is conical thalamus, flower is having a conical thalamus and the ovary is superior in position and the rest of the floral whorls are inserted below the gynoecium, means ovary is at the top, the other parts are arising at the base of the gynoecium. So, the name hypogynous, below gynoecium. Hypo means below gynoecium, other parts are arising below the gynoecium. Example, brinjal, mustard, china rose, etc. are the example for this, right. And coming to perigynous, the thalamus is cup shaped or saucer shaped and all the floral whorls are present almost at the same level, and here the ovary is said to be half superior or half inferior, means neither upside nor lower side. The rest of the whorls are inserted around the gynoecium, means almost all are at the same level. You can also see in the third diagram, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, all are at the same level in case of rose, pea, bean, etc. Lastly, in epigynous flower, thalamus grows upwards enclosing the ovary completely. You can see in the diagram, the thalamus has covered the ovary completely. Thalamus has covered the ovary completely and the ovary is inferior in position and all other parts are arising above the level of the gynoecium. All other parts are arising above the level of gynoecium, right. This is how, based on insertion of the floral leaves, we can classify the flowers into 3 types as hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. Okay. Hope you got some basic idea about types of flowers based on various morphological features. So, this is enough for today's class. We shall discuss the other details in the next class about calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Okay. One more thing, students, I think you are not watching the video till the end. Hope it is not good. If you are not interested, better stop watching the videos. If you are really interested about your career, about your job, about your family, etc., please make use of this time. This pandemic is not that easy. You will not get that much of time as you are getting now. So think of once studies and think on your career and make use of the time. See you in the next video. Thank you.